everybody, good to be back with you. So let's discuss men with the sun in Sagittarius today. So the sun sign only describes one part of the personality. It's a big part, the identity, our main self-expression, a lot of what we want to be applauded for, appreciated for, and it describes our vitality as well. So when we have the sun in Sagittarius, we have a man who naturally believes in himself. There's a direct, spontaneous approach to life. Belief is very important to understand in how the identity is formed. What he believes informs his actions. Identity is going to be defined by social and cultural and philosophical associations. So they feel like themselves when they are after something. They feel alive when they are inspired. Having something to look forward to is very important. It's an adventurous way of being oneself. Sagittarius is a humor-filled sign. There's a joker aspect to somebody's personality when the sun comes through this sign, or as an aspect of this planet, Jupiter, who rules this sign. So there's something chronically teasing about men who have the sun in Sagittarius. The identity coming through this sign shows a personal character shaped by and influenced by social forces and ideology. And because Sagittarius also represents not just ideology but growth, a man's definition of self evolves, grows out of old beliefs about himself, or can revolve around those old beliefs when the sun comes in through Sagittarius. If the stagnation, if the latter is chosen, then we see a more dogmatic kind of identity, self-righteousness, and often, passionate political or religious beliefs will define a man's identity. So the identity that wants to be recognized or applauded as righteous or superior in knowing is very symptomatic of that kind of stagnation that can occur there. The growth into more of an ideological idea of oneself, not so much growth in the direction of personal involvement there, where we would be going more in the direction of societal, crystallizing into more societal dogmatic ideals if we are choosing to err on that side of things. So if a man evolves rather than revolves, he becomes more fun, less defined by articles of faith. His identity is no longer so tied to serving beliefs or furthering ideologies that used to really define him. Fire signs are strongly oriented toward the outside world. And Sagittarius is a mutable sign, so it adds something changeable to the nature. And this changeability and bold, extroverted orientation can lead to a moral questioning of oneself. So if these questions are confronted and a man really discovers what he believes about himself, apart from the dogma that he's already been under the guidance of, then we see someone who really grows solid in his self-chosen faith, that faith in himself. So if Sagittarius man does not confront his own hypocrisy, then he tries to teach it. He tries to sell his dogma to others, to sell himself to others, and his inner uncertainty is quelled by bringing others over to his way of believing and reinforcing that socially. So missionary zeal is a symptom of one really being weak in their own spiritual basis, and truth really does not require consensus. In fact, there's been a lot of things that people have agreed on that have been, completely not true. So this is a very dynamic, exciting way to go about oneself. As long as there's something to hope for, then Sagittarius man is pretty happy. If his hope dwindles, then his morale really does sink, and this can lead to a depression. His vitality, the sun is our vitality, our energy, our life force. It really depends on what he believes in, what he's inspired by. And if he has nothing to believe in, then his vitality will suffer. It can dissipate. So if Sagittarius man learns to believe in himself because he has evolved, then he can sustain that energy. He can sustain himself pretty well. He does not need to be inspired or motivated by something bigger than himself or something outside of himself. He realizes that he is pretty sparkly enough. So the identity is very much tied up with faith in something, but it's insight, sight into oneself that really brings a solid sense of who he is. So uncertainty about who he is can be the basis of growth into an individual who either thinks for himself and believes in himself, or thinks what he has been is what others should be. So tolerance or intolerance for others is in direct proportion to how much he knows about what he himself is made up of. And his happiness is also impacted because the sun is our personal expression in Sagittarius. Sagittarius is enjoyment. And the more Sagittarius man discovers who he is, independent of the social, religious, or philosophical doctrine that he identifies with, then the more that happiness is going to naturally grow and grow independently. So his vitality is going to grow, his independence grows, his fearlessness grows, and that's really the sign of becoming truer to oneself. Realizing the truth of himself is to actually become more independent of the old belief in himself and go towards something that is more based on what the truth about himself actually is. So exploring new ground happens in the sign of Sagittarius, and that is going to happen in the realm of identity when the sun comes through that particular sign. So as long as Sagittarius man is always exploring his own self and not sinking into what already seems to be true, then he will always be inspired. So I hope this was helpful. If it was, please subscribe to my channel and like my video. You can find me on the internet at Truth in Aspect Astrology, Facebook, Instagram, other social media at truthinAspectAstrology.com. Yes, I do private consultation, and I also offer a subscriber option on my website where I upload lots of exclusive content, teaching videos, question and answer videos. We do live sessions once or twice a week. So find me over there if you're looking for more content. And a lot of people have asked about my tops, my astrology tops, and my esoteric wear, and where that comes from and where I find that. And a lot of that comes from Hannah Stone. And you can check out her really, really cute stuff. The link below will take you over to her website where you can get free shipping and check out her stuff. If you like this, then you'll like a lot of the stuff that she's got going on there. So check that out, and I'll be back super soon with more super cool videos.